whatever the arrangements we have made in the layout, they should be flexible enough to meet the requirements of production and also the operations. Whatever raw materials are there, they will be just fed into the machine and they will be taken out at the other end of the machine. So the third type of plant layout is the combination layout, which is a combination of the product layout and the process layout. Hello everyone, I am Purnima, faculty in the Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. I welcome you all to this session. In this unit 2 of session 1, we will be learning about what is plant layout and the functions of plant layout. So, the concept of plant layout. The concept of plant layout may be described as follows. It is a plan for effective utilization of facilities for the manufacture of products involving a most efficient and economical arrangement of machines, materials, personnel, storage space and all supporting services within available floor space. So, what do we mean by the word plant layout? So, plant layout is a plan for effective utilization of facilities. So, whatever facilities are available in the organization, we have to plan it in such a way that we make the best utilization of the available facilities. Now, why are we making use of the facilities? For manufacture of products. So, whatever the product the organization is manufacturing, so we have to do it in such a way that there is optimum utilization of the facilities available involving a most efficient and economical arrangement of machines. So, we should try to arrange the machineries in such a way that we make the best use of the machine, and also there should be economical arrangement of the machines, materials, personnel, storage space and all supporting services within the available floor space. So, whatever resources we are utilizing for the production of the products, so we have to see that it is arranged in a proper way. So, this plan for arranging the machines, the personnel, the materials and the storage space, everything comprises of plant layout. Now, next, plant layout is a plan of optimum arrangement of facilities, including personnel, equipments, storage space, material handling equipment and all other services, along with the decision of the best structure to contain all these facilities. So, plant layout is, in other words, you are planning for the best utilization of all the resources in the organization. So, you have to take the decision of the best structure to contain all these facilities. So, it will be usually, if this is the plant, so you will be making provision for the machines 1, machine 2, machine 3, machine 4 and also where the personnel will be, and we will also be seeing where we will be getting the storage space. So, where you will be storing the products, and then we will also be seeing the supporting services. So, what are the other supporting services you need for the production? So, all this we will be planning in the plant layout. Then, the next, certain useful observations on the concept of plant layout. So, what are the certain things we have to keep in mind when we are deciding about the plant layout? So, the plant layout is very complex in nature because it involves concepts relating to such fields as engineering, architecture, economics and business management. Now, when we plan for the plant layout, it is a complex structure. So, why do we call it as a complex structure? Because it involves various concepts relating to the field of engineering. So, why we say it is engineering? Because it is related to the machinery. So, whatever machinery we are placing, so all machines will be built by the engineers. So, it is related to the engineering concept. Then architecture, so the building plan, so it will be designed by the architect. Economics, so economics means you try to make it more economical. And lastly, the business management, so business management means managing all the men, machines, materials and money. So all this goes into the plan for the plant layout. Then most of the managers now realize that after the site for plant location is selected, it is better to develop the layout and build the building around it rather than to construct the building first and then try to fit the layout into it. So usually what was the process before? So they used to just have a big, huge structure building, and then they used to just plan for the plant layout. But now the opposite is becoming the practice. Now what is the opposite here? So first they plan for the plant layout, and around the plant layout only the building structure comes up. So we should understand how important it is for the plant layout to be planned. Then next is, what are the objectives or the advantages of plant layout? So why it is necessary for us to have a plant layout? So first one is streamline flow of materials through the plant. So when we are having a plant layout, proper planning for the plant layout, we will be able to streamline the materials. So according to the process of production, you try to ensure that the flow of materials goes from one machine to another in the sequence of the process of the production process. Then second one is minimize material handling. So we have to try to reduce the material handling. So as far as possible, make the use of the conveyor belts or other devices wherein the materials will automatically go from one machinery to another. Suppose the product involves a lot of 3 or 4 processes, then whatever material you are introducing into the first machine, process 1, so that becomes the input for process 2. So the output of process 1 should automatically go to the machinery for process 2, and then from the output of machinery 2 will be the input for process 3. So we should arrange the materials in such a way that there is minimum material handling here. Then third one is facilitate manufacturing progress by maintaining balance in the processes. So facilitate manufacturing progress by maintaining balance in the processes. So this means you have to ensure that the manufacturing process and the machinery, etc., they are in sequence. They are according to the process of the production. Then the next one is maintain flexibility of arrangements and of operations. So the plan layout should be planned in such a way that we have flexibility of operations. That is, whatever the arrangements we have made in the layout, they should be flexible enough to meet the requirements of production and also the operations. Then maintain high turnover of in-process inventory. So the plant layout should be designed in such a way that we have the very high turnout of the in-process inventory, means the work in progress. So whatever the work in progress inventory is there, so we should ensure that there is maximum production of the work in progress inventory. Then effective utilization of men, equipment and space. So try to make the best utilization of the men, equipment and space. Then increase the employee morale. So try to increase the employee morale in the organization. Then minimize interference from machines. So we should try to see that the plan layout is such a way that there is minimum of interference. The machine should not interfere with the men's work, and men should not be interfering with the work of the machine. So try to see that there is a distance maintained between the men and the machines. Then reduce hazards affecting the employees. So reduce hazards means try to see that the employees are not in danger. So whenever the employees are working with the machines, they may face some dangers. So try to see that the employees are protected properly. So they are provided with protective gears, and in order to see that they don't get hurt when they are operating the machines. Then hold down investment, keep investment at lower level in the equipment. So when we are planning for the plant layout, the one of the highest investment will be in the machinery. So we should try to use machinery in such a way that there will be a low investment in the equipment. Then next, so while designing the plant layout, the following principles must be kept in view. So we have to keep in view the following principles. So what are the principles to be followed here? First one is the principle of minimum movement. So what does this tell us? So materials and labor should be moved over minimum distances, saving cost and time of transportation and material handling. So principle of minimum movement means we have to see that the materials and labor, they don't move too much in the plant layout. So it should be in such a way that there is at least movement of materials and labor within the layout, so that we can save on the cost and also the time of transportation and material handling. So all this can be saved when there is minimum movement of labor and materials. Then second one is principle of space utilization. All available cubic space should be effectively utilized both horizontally and vertically. So the space utilization. So if the space, make maximum use of the horizontal space available as well as the vertical space. So vertical space means it depends on the height of the machine, and then above that you have to create a floor. So all this will be depending. So while deciding about the plant layout, we have to make optimum utilization of the space. Then next one is principle of flexibility. Layout should be flexible enough to be adaptable to changes required by expansion or technological development. So try to see that whatever changes we are trying to make in the layout, they should be adaptable. They should be as flexible as possible. And because whenever there is a plan for expansion or technological development, the layout should be able to support it. So all expansion plans and technological development plans should be supported by the plant layout. Then principle of interdependence. Now what is this principle of interdependence? So interdependent operations and processes should be located in close proximity to each other to minimize the product travel. So in the principle of interdependence, it should be located in close proximity to each other. So whatever the tools which are necessary, whatever the labor which are necessary for each of the processes, so it should be kept in proximity so that there is no movement between the material and the labor. Then the next principle of plant layout is principle of overall integration. Now what is this principle of overall integration? All the plant facilities and services should be fully integrated into a single operating unit to minimize the cost of production. So whatever the products you are manufacturing, it should be integrated. The layout should be designed in such a way that it is fully integrated into a single operating unit to minimize the cost of production. So try to ensure that there is minimum cost of production. Then principle of safety. There should be inbuilt provision in the design to provide for comfort and safety of the workers. See, the comfort and safety of the workers becomes it should be the top priority of any organization. So there should be a place where the employees can rest. They can take rest in between the work, and they should also see that there is proper safety measures which are there when the employees are working in the plant. Then principle of smooth flow. The layout should be so designed as to reduce work bottlenecks and facilitate uninterrupted flow of work throughout the plant. So whenever we are having this plant layout, whenever we are planning, we should ensure that there are no bottlenecks. So bottlenecks means try to see that the output of one process is not lying there waiting for the next process to end. So it should be timed in such a way that as soon as the output comes from process 1, it should automatically go into process 2. Suppose it has to wait for the second process to complete, then there will be a lot of time wasted for production. So as a result of which, we will be having bottlenecks in production. So in order to avoid all this, we have to see that we have to just calculate the process time for each product and plan the layout in such a way that the output of process 1 will be immediately consumed by the second process. Then the next one is principle of economy. The layout should aim at effective economy in terms of investment in fixed assets. So whenever they investing in the plant layout, so there will be lot of financial decisions involved. So what are the financial decisions? So whether to just purchase the land or whether you will be taking it on a lease. Then also the decision relating to machinery, whether you are going in for an outright purchase or whether you are going in for a lease of machinery. So this principle of economy should be maintained whenever there is a purchase of fixed assets. Then principle of supervision. It should facilitate effective supervision of workers. So whenever workers are working in the plant layout, the supervision should be done. It should be easy to supervise all the employees who are working there. The supervisor should be seated in such a way that he can see the workers working there and he can give his guidance then and there itself. Then principle of satisfaction. A good layout should boost up employee morale by providing them with maximum work satisfaction. So the plant layout should be designed in such a way that it will boost the employee morale and also give them the work satisfaction. Then the next is the types of plant layout. So what are the different types of plant layout? So the two basic plans of arrangement of manufacturing facilities are product layout and process layout. So there are two basic plans here. So one is the product layout, other one is the process layout. The only other alternative is a combination of product and process layouts in the same plant. So there are basically three plans here. So one is the product layout, second one is the process layout, third one is a combination of the product and the process layout. So let us have a look at what do we mean by the product layout. So product layout or the line layout. So in this type of a layout, all the machines are arranged in the sequence as required to produce a specific product. So we have to arrange the machines in such a way that they are able to produce a specific product. It is called a line layout because machines are arranged in a straight line. So when machines are arranged in a straight line, we call it as a line layout. The raw materials are fed at one end and taken out as a finished product to the other end. So whatever raw materials are there, they will be just fed into the machine and they will be taken out at the other end of the machine. Special purpose machines are used which perform the required jobs quickly and reliably. So for this product layout, we make use of special purpose machines which will be doing the work quickly and reliably. Now, the product layout is depicted below. So we have a plan of the product layout here. So we have the turning operation. From there, we have the milling operation, drilling, assembly, inspection, and the package dispatch. So this is the product. So the product undergoes the turning operation. Suppose you have to have a turning screws for something like that, and then from there it goes here. Then for the drilling operation, assembly, inspection and package display. Then what are the advantages of the product layout? Reduced material handling cost due to mechanized handling systems and straight flow. So we don't have much material handling costs in the product layout because of the mechanized handling system and the straight flow. So everything will be mechanized. So the flow of material will be with the help of machines. So we don't need much of material handling cost here. Second, perfect line balancing, which eliminates bottlenecks and idle capacity. So there will not be any bottlenecks in this kind of a line machine, because the output of the one machine will be the input of the next machine. Short manufacturing cycle due to uninterrupted flow of material. So once the materials are fed into the first machine, it will automatically cover all the process and the end product will be there within no time. So there will be shorter manufacturing process, simplified production planning and control, and simple effective inspection of work. So with this product layout, we can have production planning and control. Why? Because we have it is a very simple and effective inspection of work. So whatever outputs we are getting from this kind of a plant layout, it will be available for inspection easily, and then we can just pass it off easily. Then small amount of work in progress inventory. So there will be no work in progress at all because the manufacturing time is very low. So whatever materials you are feeding into the machine 1, it automatically comes out of the last machine, as a result of which within no time the raw materials will be converted into finished products, and as such we will not have any work in process inventory at all. Then lesser wage cost, as unskilled workers can learn and manage the production. So here there is lesser wage cost because you don't need much skilled labor here. So whatever the labor you are appointing, so you can appoint them without any qualification, and they will have to just feed the materials into the machines, and they have to just collect the products, whatever is coming out of the machine. So you don't need much of costly labor in order to handle this product layout. Then next is, what are the disadvantages? The lack of flexibility of operations, as layout cannot be adapted to the manufacturing of any other type of product. So in case of a product layout, so layout will be designed in such a way that they will be manufacturing the same product always. So as a result of which there will be no flexibility of operations. Then large capital investment because of special purpose machines. So these machines will be exclusively used only for the manufacturing of a particular product only. So we need heavy investment for this kind of a machinery. Then dependence of whole activity on each part. Any breakdown of one machine in the sequence may result in the stoppage of production. Now in case of a product layout or a line layout, suppose there is any breakdown in any one of the machinery, the entire production process will come to a standstill. So this is a disadvantage. Same machines duplicated for manufacturing of different products lead to high overall operational cost. So when we are using the same machine for manufacture of different products, it will lead to high overall operating cost. Delicate special purpose machines require costly maintenance and repairs. So these machines, which special purpose machines, they require costly maintenance and repairs. Then what is the suitability of the plant layout? Where it is most suitable? So it is suitable in the following cases. where one or few standardized products are manufactured. So when the products you are manufacturing are identical, for example, the manufacture of toilet soap, the manufacturing of shampoo, the manufacturing of face cream. So all these are standardized products, and as such, they have to meet the standards. Second one is where large volume of production of each item has to travel the production process over a considerable period of time. So here, this kind of a product layout, it will be effective where there is a large volume of production of each item. So it has to travel the production process over a considerable period of time. So until the entire process is complete, the materials keep on traveling. So for such kind of products, we need a plant layout where time and motion studies can be done to determine the rate of work. So the rate of work can be decided by the time and motion studies, where possibility of good balance of labor and equipment exists. So there should be a balance of good labor and equipment, where minimum of inspection is required during sequence of operations. So there is not much of a inspection here in case of a product layout, because the machine, everything will be fully mechanized and there will be nothing to supervise here, where materials and products permit bulk or continuous handling by mechanical parts. So whatever the materials and products, they will be going into the machinery. So it will be fully mechanized, as a result of which there will be less of material handling, where minimum of setups are required. So you don't need to set up the machinery every time the output is coming out. So whatever the output is coming, you just have to take and store the output and just introduce the raw materials. So that is the only work we'll be doing in the product layout. Then next is that in the next one is second one, this one we call it as the process layout or the functional layout. So in this type of layout, all machines performing similar type of operations are grouped at one location. That is, all lathe machines, milling machines are grouped in the shop and they will be clustered in like groups. So in this, a typical process layout is depicted below here. So we have this grouping of machines. So all lathe work, so they will be done in this layout here. So all lathe machines will be grouped together. All milling machines will be grouped together. Then assembling machines will be grouped together. So if you have any welding work, where it has to go to the welding division. Grinding work will go to the grinding division. Inspection of this products, it will go to the inspection division. Shipping and receiving. So what is shipping and what is going out, all this will be there. And then we have the painting division. So depending on the type of work you are doing, so you will be just grouping the machines and see that the products move from one group of machine to another. Suppose the product has to undergo lathe work, then you send the products to this lathe machines. Then next, from there it goes to welding. Then you send all the materials to welding. So from welding, you go directly to inspection and then to shipping. So depending on the type of product or the process it has to undergo, we have to send the machines to the various groups where the machines are grouped. Similar work done by machines will be grouped. So this we call it as the process layout or the functional layout. Then what are the advantages of this kind of a process layout? Greater flexibility with regard to work distribution to machinery and personnel. So there will be lot of greater flexibility here with regard to work distribution to machinery and personnel. So personnel also have to be there, machinery also have to be there. So there will be greater distribution of work here, and it is adapted to frequent changes in the sequence of operation. So this kind of a process layout will be utilized where there will be a frequent change in the process of production. So for that, it will be very, very helpful. Then lower investment due to general purpose machine, which are usually less costly than special purpose machines. So in case of this process layout, we can see that the machines which are used, they will be usually general purpose machines, and because of which there will be lower investment in the machinery. Then higher utilization of production facilities, which can be adapted to a variety of products. So higher utilization of production facilities. So you can make the best utilization of the production facilities in case of a process layout. Then variety of job makes the work challenging and interesting. So whenever we are working in a process layout, so they will be not similar products will not be produced, and as a result of which there will be variety of work and each work will be challenging and interesting. Breakdown of the one machine does not result in complete stoppage of work. So in the case of this process layout, we can see that once the process is over, it moves from one process to another. So even if there is a breakdown in any one of the machinery, it will not lead to stoppage of the work. So these are the advantages of the process layout. Next, going to the disadvantages, backtracking and long movements occur in handling of machines. As such, material handling costs are higher. So in case of this kind of a process layout, so the materials have to move from one process to another. For example, from lathe machine, it has to go to the grinding machine. From grinding machine, it may have to go to the assembly. The material handling cost will be higher in case of this process layout. Mechanization of material handling is not possible. So materials have to be moved manually from one process to another, as a result of which we cannot make use of machines. Production and planning and control is difficult. See, because the products have to undergo the various processes, each time it will be different. So production planning and control also becomes difficult here. More space requirement, as work in progress inventory is high, requiring greater storage space. So in case of a process layout, we need more space because the work in progress inventory will be higher, and as such you have to store it somewhere. And once the department is free, suppose the lathe department, so the department is free until it has completed its job, we have to keep the materials waiting in the storage room, and from there it has to be transported to the lathe machine department, and for all this we need lot of space. As the work has to pass through different departments, it is quite difficult to trace the responsibility for the finished product. So since the process involves lot of departments, so we cannot just trace the responsibility of the finished product. So where the product is lagging behind, so that we cannot trace here. Then suitability of the process layout. So it is suitable when the non-standardized products are manufactured, as the emphasis is on special orders. So when the company is getting special orders for manufacture of a special kind of an item, for that this process layout is very suitable. It is difficult to achieve good labor and equipment balance. So for this, we need good labor and equipment to balance here, otherwise we cannot run this. Then third one is production is not carried on a large scale. So whatever is the order, based on that they will be producing. So as a result of which we cannot have large scale economies. It is difficult to undertake adequate time and motion studies. So we cannot calculate the time and motion studies here, because the work in progress inventory will be waiting. So they have to go from one department to another, and if that department is fully engaged, then the inventory has to wait to undergo the process, as a result of which we cannot calculate the time and motion studies. It is frequently necessary to use the same machine or workstation for two or more difficult operations. So when there are difficult operations, we have to go to the same workstation and get the work done. So we have to wait in queue for the first batch of materials to come out and then introduce this. During the sequence of operations, many inspections are required. So whenever each process has to, output comes out of each department, so there has to be an inspection of the materials at each department. Suppose it goes to the lathe department, it comes out, again we have to see whether the products are properly turned. Then we have to see whether the product is properly grinded. So whenever it comes out of each department, we have to just check for the work which is being done. So the process may have to be brought to work instead of vice versa, because materials or products are too large or heavy to permit bulk or continuous handling by mechanical means. So these are the various suitability of the process layout. Next, the types of plant layout. The first one is the combination layout. What is this combination layout? So in practice, plants are rarely laid out either in product or process layout form. Generally, a combination of the two basic layouts is employed to derive the advantages of both the layouts. For example, refrigerator manufacturing uses a combination layout. So the third type of plant layout is the combination layout, which is a combination of the product layout and the process layout. So we get the advantages of both the kinds of layouts. So the one of the best example is the manufacturing of the refrigerator. So the process layout is used to produce various operations like stamping, welding, heat treatment being carried out in different work centers. The final assembly of the product is done in the product type layout. So we need both, whether it is the process or the product, both kinds of layout are essential for manufacturing. Then the fixed position layout. It is also called stationary layout. In this type of layout, men, materials and machines are brought to a product that remains in one place owing to its size. So here it is also called as the stationary layout. So why we call it as the stationary layout? Because all the resources will be going to that site and then the work has to start. So men, materials and machines are brought to a product that remains in one place owing to its size. For example, if it is the construction of a building, so we have to move the men, materials and machines to the site of construction and get the building constructed. So the site cannot be moved from one place to another, as a result of which all the resources have to be taken to the site and then the construction has to take place. Shipbuilding, aircraft manufacturing, wagon building, heavy construction of dams, bridges, buildings are typical examples of such layout. So in case of fixed position layout, if the product is very huge like aircraft building or ship building, so heavy construction of dams, bridges, buildings, etc. So for all that, the fixed position layout will be very, very useful. With this, we come to the end of this session. Hope you have all followed it. Thank you.